Different items are used in different ways, and thus require different animations. These different animations are all over the game, and yet they are perhaps one of the most overlooked aspects of it, probably because it's so inconspicuous. If you want to see what these animations truly look like, you can apply them to items they aren't supposed to be applied to. For example, perhaps the most well-known use type is 1, Swing. It, of course, swings the sword around the player, like a broadsword. If we apply to something like a Band of Regeneration, which typically has a use type of 0 or none, we can swing it around like this. Sure, it's really slow because it has a use time of 100 or 1.67 seconds, but it still works. Conversely, we can also apply other use animations to familiar weapons, like the Iron Broadsword. There are 15 use styles, counting none, and each one of them looks familiar, yet strange when applied to an item it isn't supposed to be on. So, let's get into all of them. We've already done use style 0 and 1, so let's start with use style 2. Now, the nerd who made this mod, DragonLens, forgot to add use style 2 for some reason, but use style 2 is essentially the eating style. It is used on all food items and consists of a subtle slide into the mouth like this. Pretty natural for food. If you use it on an Iron Broadsword, we simply slide it in similar to the food item. You can still attack like this, but obviously it isn't very effective. Then we move on to use style 3. This simply thrusts the item forward. This works exactly the same as pre-1.4 short swords did, and it was likely used for them. However, in 1.4, short swords were switched to use style 13, which allows you to turn the short sword instead of always thrusting left or right. Today, this antiquated left to right thrust is only used by the Umbrella and Tragic Umbrella. Style 4, called Hold Up, is the style used by the life and mana crystals when you use them. It holds them up. Nothing more to say about this. Style 5, Shoot, is used by guns, bows, and spears. It essentially holds the weapon out for a shooting position like that of a bow or gun. When used on every other item, it's like Hold Up, but with the weapon angled forward. Then there are the 3 separate drinking animations. Style 6, Drink Long, is the typical drinking animation, but different apparently. It's used on the Recall and Return potions, which are the only potions in the game to have a use time of 30, instead of 17 on the regular potions. Style 7 is Drink Old, which as shown by its name is the old drinking animation. No items still use this to my knowledge. Style 9 is a Drink Liquid animation, used by literally every other potion in the game. Here's the 3 styles compared to each other, with Drink Long on the left, Drink Old in the middle, and Drink Liquid on the right. They're subtly different. I actually wonder why Red decided to change it. Style 8, which we skipped over, is Golf Play. This is obviously used by the golf clubs and does exactly what you think no matter what. Style 10, Hidden Animation, is definitely a weird cookie, but if you look into what items actually use Style 10, it comes up that the Whoopee Cushion is the only item that uses it. Cool. Style 11, Mow the Lawn, mows the lawn. Style 12, Guitar, lets you strum any item like a harp or guitar. Sadly, it won't make any music though, unless you use it with the axe. Then, unfortunately, all you do is strum the fretboard. Style 13, Rapier, as previously discussed, is just how short swords work. Not much to say here. And finally, Style 14, or Raise Lamp, is unique to the Nightglow weapon. You might be wondering how this is different from Style 4, Hold Up, but the key is in the arm position. You don't want the Nightglow to do this whenever you use it, so in this style when you use the weapon, it instead only lifts your hand slightly as if you're prompting it. While minuscule, these different animations do really help with the polish of the game. They might be inconspicuous, sure, but I guess that's what they were made for. If you want to explore this and any other interesting unintended behavior, like making things shoot projectiles they're not supposed to shoot, you can check out this earlier video exploring just that. If you're still around, consider subscribing, as only about a quarter of you all are. Join my bad Discord as well if you wish. Either way though, thank you for watching, and good day and goodbye.